Dried cocoa beans being collected by farmers. The process is the same almost every year. Ripe cocoa is harvested throughout the year, but in two distinct periods. The larger main crop is harvested from October to March, while the less productive mid-crop harvest goes from April to September. The beans is then sold to the state-run Ghana Cocoa Board for onward sales to local and international buyers. All in all, bringing in about $3 billion yearly. Fifi Boafo is the head of public relations at Cocoa Board and shares government's plan of increasing sale to local players from the current 40% plus to about 50%. Currently, about 58% of cocoa beans produced in Ghana are exported.
Well, recently we've seen some increase in terms of local processing. It has moved to over 40% of our produce locally. The targets set by government is to do a minimum of 50%, and we are gradually inching closer to that. We are not there yet, but our expectation is to meet that target. We will not be able to give you specific figures for this year, but that is the target we're working towards, and as much as possible we are engaging our local processors, ensuring that they build their capacity and also attract new processing companies to also come in, such that we will be able to meet our target. So yes, there's been some improvement. We are not there yet, but we'll continue pursuing that agenda of doing a minimum of 50% local processing.
The war in Ukraine, however, is causing sleepless nights for some importers and exporters, especially if it prolongs. Data from the Observatory of Economic Complexity (OEC) shows that Ghana exported cocoa beans valued at $24.4 million to Ukraine in 2020. For Russia, on the other hand, Ghana exported cocoa paste, cocoa powder, and cocoa beans worth $38 million, $15.9 million, and $15.7 million respectively in the year 2020. So is Ghana at risk of losing out on revenue from lost sales if the war continues? Let's hear from Fifi Boafo again.
We do not directly export beans to Russia and Ukraine. However, there are companies that source cocoa from Ghana and they sell to these markets. So you would not say that the war in Russia and Ukraine would not have effect on our markets. But it is difficult to tell, considering the fact that they do not directly source from us, but then they source through third party. Some of the buyers who buy from Ghana actually sell to these markets. So yes, it's a concern to us.
So is there a way out for Ghana?
The good thing is that now Asia is picking up, and there are traders or buyers from Asia. And according to our trading room, the effects, if it happens that because we will not be able to sell to these markets as a result of the war, the Asian market will be able to compensate for the loss we will encounter as a result of our inability. Of course, if you have the Asian market adding up to what already exists, it increases the market, and when the market increases, it has a better effect on price. So the expectation will be that add the Asian market, and then let us also have the existing market in addition to it. However, if it happens that, okay, in the period of the war we will not be able to sell, it will not be a case that we will not have market for the product because of the coming in of the Asian market. But of course, we want more market so that we have better price for our farmers.
For the General Agricultural Workers Union, even though farmers are not directly exposed to the impact of the war, they are minded that an institution like Cocoa Board is however exposed to some extent. Edward Kadwe is their General Secretary.
The whole global economy is readjusting, and if a particular company had some connection with the economy of Russia, Ukraine, or Belarus, which also then imports your beans, if there are challenges with that company as a result of this war, it will certainly affect the purchase of your produce.
The contribution of revenue from cocoa to Ghana's development cannot be underestimated. But as happenings in Ukraine have shown, well, such global events can impact your revenue and also impact happenings around your commodity. So is government ready to take the needed steps to insulate Ghanaians from such global events? We do hope so. For City Business News, my name is Bobie Osei.